Hello, you guys. Thank you and welcome back to Kendall's Voice. He's not able to speak for himself, so I'm speaking for him until he's able to. Yesterday, I did a video talking about what he actually had, the medicine that he was actually on, and things of that nature. Today, I did put notes in my phone. I'm going to talk about the therapies that he had and still do have appointments that we had to go to, how often we had to go to those appointments, what those appointments was for, surgeries that he had or haven't had, him being able to walk, like what age he was able to actually start walking and crawling and things of that nature. And then also his eating habits. So I'm going to go over those things today in this video. As I stated in the previous videos, Kendall is 10 and he has infantile spasms. Well, he had, because you can only have that as an infant, which is a form of a seizure, which his was a silent seizure that was occurring in his sleep. And it's unknown. His diagnosis is 3 different types of infantile spasms that you can have, and he was tested for all, and all of them came back negative. So the reason why he had it or is unknown. Is no hospital, no medicine, medical reason why he has what he has, or things like that. So it's unknown. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the therapist. So Kendall is in speech, PT, and OT. He has been in PT since he was 7 months because, as I stated, he forgot the basics of what he had learned from 6 months. So he wasn't able to like hold his head up, like by himself. I had to be gentle with him. He wasn't able to crawl. He wasn't able to babble. He wasn't able to grasp onto things, like even your finger. You know how they do the test to where you just give the baby the finger and see how tight they can grasp it. He wasn't able to grasp it. So his PT instructor, which is Miss Angie, she was his PT teacher for 3 years, up until the age she turned 3, so 2.5. But she came there twice a week, every week, and she helped me to help him learn how to walk eventually, crawl eventually, hold his bottle eventually. She was there with me through the whole process of it all. Me being in the military, I have the appointment, so I go to work and then I tell him I have an appointment at a certain time. His appointments range from 30 to 45 minutes. She'll give me things to work on with him. Kendall did not start crawling until he was almost 1. He was almost 1, if not 1, when he actually started to crawl. He wasn't able to stand up by himself. He always stood up with on something, like by the table or things of that nature, but that was a task as well. But he did start crawling around the age of 1. So just imagine you having a 1-year-old, and in the military we had certain functions what would be called fun day. And we would go to fun day and you bring your family and your friends and things like that. And then it's like, of course they knew when I had them because they know everything. So it was like they had questions that I didn't want to answer. So I would just be quiet. My whole time in the military, I was majority quiet. Majority of the time I was quiet. If I talked to you, we was really close and really cool to a certain extent to where I'm able to converse with you at work, and it may be outside of work as well. But I was candid about what I did or didn't say. So back to the therapist. So he had speech PT and OT. PT instructor Miss Angie, who I will forever be grateful for. She was really sweet and really patient. Really sweet and really patient. Any way that she could to help me, she did. Due to Kendall being low in weight, I would buy him like the Ensure drinks to like help him gain weight, but it nothing worked for him to gain weight. I don't know what it is, but nothing worked. But she ended up giving me like a prescription, or knowing someone who had like a lot of insurers on standby. So it would be like a 36 pack of insurers that she would give me like once a month, and he'll drink that and things like that. So she helped more than her job. I can tell she really did care. But so the speech didn't start until he was 2. Speech and OT didn't start until he was 2, and it was basically like the just making sounds or trying to point out stuff or tell me what you want or what this is or what you use it for, the basics of speech. And then as far as OT, it was like trying to jump or trying to walk. He did have ortho shoes that I might end up inserting this into the video, because I took a picture and I keep pictures. I love taking pictures and I keep pictures. So I took a picture of the ortho shoes he had to put on that fit inside his shoe to help him be more stable, because his feet is flat. And they thought that was, one of the reasons why he wasn't able to, like learn how to walk. So, he got those, he got fitted for those. And then he also ended up with a walker to help him walk. So he also had, he was supposed to have eye surgery, because as I stated in the previous video, his eyes was crossing. His eyes had started to cross. He could not focus. So we went to the ophthalmologist, and they did a test on him, and they stated that they was going to give him glasses, which he did end up having a little small blue glasses to, help correct his vision, to help straighten out his eyes, because he had a small stigma. So it was to correct that, to help him focus and things like that. But the glasses didn't help the crossing of the eyes. So they was like, if it don't work, we can correct it through surgery, things like that. So I was like, okay, here go a surgery to correct his eyes, because of course I want him to be able to, see straight. I didn't want it to progress and get worse. So, no lie, you guys, the day before his surgery, they tell you to come, it's just like a pre-visit. And they check everything. They make sure that tomorrow before your surgery, everything is, right, and what they're going to do and things like that. So the day before his surgery, his eyes stopped crossing. No more crossing. The day before his surgery, when we went there, actually, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. 2 days before his surgery, because it had stopped crossing. And I wasn't going to go to the appointment the next day, because I was like, his eyes stopped crossing. I'm going to just call her and tell her. But I knew they probably would have wanted him to come in just to verify things like that. And I thought maybe I was tripping too. So I still took him. They did the test, things like that. And she was like, she was shocked too. So I was like, yeah. But, again, God on my side. God on my side. God on our side. God was there, and he's still here, and he has been there every step of the way. So his eyes stopped crossing. He did not get the surgery, did not need the surgery. He did not need the glasses anymore. And the general life of Kendall and his appointments is I literally had to drive to OKC twice a week for the first year. Was a lot. I'll say it was like 2 times a week for like 2 weeks out of the month. And OKC is an hour and a half away, on top of the fact that I still had to drive back and still report to work because I was on the allotted time to be out of work for the appointments, and you have to show proof that the appointment is the time that the appointment that the appointment said that it is, and then of course they calculate the drive time that you have back. And typically his appointments was at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I would miss PT sometimes, and I'll drive there, drive back. After his appointment, I probably get there like at 10 something. Lunch is at 11:30. So I'll go report, end up going to lunch, and then do the rest of my work day. And it was like me driving at the time. I just, as a mother, you just want to do everything that you can do to make sure that your child's okay. So it wasn't a lot until like the second year, the third year. And the fourth year, it was like appointments. I myself never really had time to even go to any appointments for myself, because any downtime I got, I was just like, okay, I don't want to. And then the third year, I actually had help with taking him to his appointments, and I'll get to that story later on down the line. But I actually had help get him being taken to his appointments, and it was just like a weight lifted off my shoulder. At that time, that person didn't know just how much I appreciated that. Just appointments after appointments after appointments, and it's just not like his speech PT and OT appointments. It was also his well visit checkups. It was also his dental appointments. It was also like if he got sick, because Ken got sick so easily. So I had to go to the appointments for that. So it was just like, and then on top of work. And then also I was trying to go to school while I was in the military, because they do allow you to go to school while you're in the military. So when you get out, you can prepare, for life if that's what you choose to do, or to get higher up in the ranks for more pay. So I was trying to do that as well. And right now, talking about it, it seems like a lot. But at the time when I was going through it, it was normal. I just adapted to what it was and just accepted it for what it was. But it was a lot. I never really had time to like sit down and to think about everything until, me doing these videos. And I'm praying and hoping that these videos is a way to help someone else and let someone else know that it's going to be okay. Like, today is not tomorrow. Whatever's happening today, get through it. And if it's similar, if tomorrow is similar, at least it's less than it was yesterday. Because I never really wanted to tell Ken's story. But as I stated also in the previous videos, I feel compelled to. And even if it helps one person, even if one person just feel like it's too much and it's unknown, because it is. Every circumstance is different. Every child will be different. Every child will go through their own obstacles. Some are more visible than others. Because sometimes people can just be not adapted to life mentally. But you'll never know, because physically they don't look like it until you actually sit down and get to talk to someone and really get to know. Other than, kids who does have special needs, you can see theirs first, versus being able to take the time to actually get to know them, just to see how different are they, how similar are they to you or your kids. So, the appointments was a lot. I was grateful that he didn't have to have eye surgery. He did, however, had to have a hernia surgery, because he had a hydrocele, in his testicles and his hernia in his stomach. So they did both of those at the same time. I don't know if I may have been the cause for him to have a hernia due to the fact that me being pregnant, I literally was taking water upstairs, washing clothes. The apartments that we lived in Oklahoma, it wasn't like the apartments today where you just have your washer and dryer hookups. No, I didn't have a washer or dryer hookup. So I had to go to the laundromat, take the clothes and things like that, even though it was just me. I did it often because I had to wash my ACUs, which is my military uniform, on top of sheets and things like that, bring food upstairs, bags upstairs. I lived upstairs, so I had to take all those things myself, on top of the fact that I was already small. I was already sick. But throughout that, people that I had ended up forming a friendship with did help me. Like sometimes like go to the store with me and, bring the water upstairs and things like that. So I'm grateful for them as well. And then I wrote down his eating habits. I would say, well, Kendall has never had a piece of candy. Never. No chocolate, nothing, no candy, no nothing. He just started recently, I would say 2 years ago, eating Pop-Tarts and muffins. He didn't like any juice. He didn't start drinking juice, I would say, he probably was 7 when he started drinking juice, because he didn't like anything sweet at all, which I was grateful for. But he did not eat a variety of meat, which I really don't either. I really don't eat. I eat chicken. I might eat beef here and there, but that is really rare. And I just stopped eating pork. Maybe it's been a year ago, but I really never ate it like that anyway. But like bacon or sausage, because breakfast is hard to break. So I eat sausage and things like that, but never really was a big fan of meat. But he did not eat chicken the first 4 years. He did not eat any meat at all. Only thing that Ken would eat, and he had to eat the same thing over and over again. And I was just happy that he was just eating. So it would be like macaroni, mashed potatoes, noodles. And he was big on vegetables, like broccoli, things like that. Really not too keen on fruit, but vegetables, yes. And he ate those things over and over and over and over again. If I tried to incorporate anything new, he would not eat it. And then I felt like he wasn't going to trust me to give him anything else. So I just stuck to what I knew that at least he ate. And that's just that on that. But his diet is very, very picky. And to this day, he has picked up more of an appetite to a different variety of stuff. But like, it has to be dry. It cannot be like barbecue chicken, anything with like gravy on it. The meat itself has to be dry. So chicken wings, he will eat it to the bone. And when I say to the bone, I mean literally to the bone. And he still loves macaroni, mashed potatoes, but now he'll eat, like if I cook smothered meat, he'll eat like the hamburger portion of it. He'll eat string beans. Still don't eat fruit to this day. And then he's actually allergic to cucumbers. I learned that the hard way. And he's I don't know what I was doing with a cucumber. Oh, I gave him Gatorade had a cucumber melon drink, and I had gave it to him in his cup. We was driving, and I just looked back to check on him, and his face was like all bumped up, all red. So I took him to the hospital. I told him what I gave him, and they said that he was allergic to cucumbers. So gave him Benadryl and things like that, which also Kendall is allergic to peanut butter nuts as well. And when I say like, or he can touch a nut and just probably rub his face and he'll break out. How do I know he's allergic to peanut butter? Story. So went to the doctor. I told you guys he was underweight. At the time, he was 4. And the doctor was like, you know, he's actually negative on the chart scale. Like, you know how they had like the 50 percentile, 60 percentile, he's negative. So the doctor was like, you know, give him, do he eat oatmeal? I was like, yes, he eat oatmeal. He was like, put a little bit of peanut butter in his oatmeal. You know, peanut butter, you know, everybody know peanut butter helps you gain weight. So I was like, okay. And I literally, guys, it probably was like this much peanut butter. I gave him the peanut butter. And, no, I gave him the oatmeal with a little bit of peanut butter in it. And he was like laying on the couch like he was sleepy. So I was like, okay, come on, let's go upstairs. I'm going to lay you down. So I walked upstairs. I laid him down in his room. I walked back downstairs. I was cleaning up and doing some other things. And someone was like, just go check on him. Go check on him. So I went upstairs. He had the cover on him. So I peeked my head in. He was just laying down. So I was like, oh, okay. And Ken don't sleep. Ken don't take naps. Like, he's up. When he go to sleep, he going to sleep at night. So I thought that was kind of weird. So I was like, he must be getting sick again because he gets sick quite often. So I walked downstairs again, but something in me was like, go check, like go move the cover. So I went back upstairs. I moved the cover. That was like in a 10-minute time frame. I moved the cover. When I moved the cover, it was throw up all on the bed. He was like lethargic. He was limp. He had bumps all over him. I was like, oh my goodness. So I freaked out and I had put him in the tub, you know, to get all the throw up and stuff off him. And I had, I was like, no, as I was like washing him up, he threw up again. And then, but the bumps started coming more and more. And it was like, he was like kind of having a hard time breathing. And as I stated also previously, everything is close by. So the hospital, it was literally like 3 minutes away from me. So I didn't even, all I did was how he had his, still had his pamper on because he's not potty trained. Had his pamper on and a shirt, and I just rushed him to the hospital. And they was like, you know, they was asking me the last thing he ate, whatever, and I told him that he had oatmeal, not thinking to tell them that it was a little bit of peanut butter in it. So, you know, we was in the room, and they was like, you sure you didn't give him anything else? And I was like, no, I just gave him the oatmeal. And I was like, oh, and it had a little bit of peanut butter in it. And he was like, he has an allergic reaction to peanut butter. That's how I found out that's what he had allergic reaction to. And then also how I know how severe it is because I had a Snickers, not thinking that he would go, you know, and mess with it, which I should have known. But I bit it, and I put it on my dresser. I went to go do something, and when I came back, he had it in his hand. And then I had took it from him. He went in the room, and when he came out, I guess he had rubbed his eye, and his eye was swollen. I was like, oh my goodness. So now, no nuts at all in here. If I do, it's either in the freezer, like candy that has nuts in it, but I don't think I do at all. No. And then I have trail mix, but that's in the pantry to where he can't reach it. And you guys, I'm going to stop the video here. And I'm going to talk about, in the next video, I'm going to talk about something that happened. Some may agree, some may not, but it's my story. It's Kendall's story. It's our journey, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Thank you for joining Kendall's Voice. You guys have a good day.